In this episode of Journey with Jake, I'm joined by Troy and Melinda Hicks, better known as Hicks in the Wild, a couple whose humor, creativity, and faith have inspired thousands. Their story begins back in college, where an unexpected connection turned into a lifelong adventure. From navigating marriage and parenting to facing loss and chasing dreams, the Hicks remind us that love, laughter, and faith can carry us through it all. Welcome to Journey with Jake. This is a podcast about adventure and how through our adventures we can overcome the challenges of life that come our way. While I expect you will learn some things about different adventures, this show will entertain you. Each episode will feature a different guest or guests as they share experiences and stories from the different adventures they have been on. Not only will you be entertained, but you will also hear the failures and trials each guest faces and what they have done or are doing to overcome the hardships that come their way. My goal is to take each of us on a journey through the experiences of my guests with the hope that you'll be entertained and inspired to overcome your day-to-day challenges. After all, it's not all about the destination as it is about the journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Journey with Jake wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're enjoying these stories, take a quick moment to leave a rating and a review. It really helps the show grow. Today's conversation with Troy and Melinda Hicks from @HicksInTheWild on Instagram is such a fun reminder that adventure doesn't always mean climbing mountains or crossing oceans. Sometimes it's about finding laughter and love right in the middle of everyday life. And if you enjoyed this episode, you'll also love episode 53 with Oak and Nelton, where we dive into their adventures as newlyweds. Okay, let's get to my conversation with Melinda and Troy Hicks. All right, I'm excited today because I have Melinda and Troy Hicks with me today. This is fun. I found you through Instagram, just, doing my little wasting time scrolling, probably is how I came across a post that you did. Hicks in the Wild is the Instagram account. And I think it was the first one I saw, I think was Melinda, you went to pick up Troy at the airport in Provo, Utah, which is close by where I live. And you had like a tattoo sleeve on your arm. I think you said, "Welcome home from prison, Troy," I think is what it said.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it just struck me. It was funny. It was kind of Troy's reaction. It was just great, clean, good, wholesome fun. And I thought, this is the kind of stuff I like to see on Instagram. It just made me laugh. It made me smile. So before we dive into your backgrounds and who you are and where you're from, I got to ask you then, Melinda, do you ever get nervous walking into these airports? I mean, you were dressed in a hazmat suit once. You were dressed as a cop. What are your thoughts? I mean, you must not have any fear. What's going on in your mind?
No. I was kind of nervous every time. The hazmat suit, I was shaking. But the one that did it for me was the cone head. When I wore a full-on cone head, that was the most adrenaline I think I've ever experienced in my life. And it was because he was the last person out of the plane. So I stood there for a good 45 minutes holding a sign that said, "Marry me," with a bald cone head. And like 100 or so, probably hundreds of people passed me. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever done, but it was so fun. Like I don't know why. That stuff to me is really fun.
And I love seeing people's reactions too.
Yeah. I got a lot of support. I feel like people it's funny.
I don't know. I think I'm seeing a new version of my wife because over the past 5 years since we've had kids, she's kind of been like at home chilling, and it's like the same version of her when she was in school when I first met her, just kind of shameless and a rebel, just like
Yeah.
being super funny.
I like to have fun. I don't know.
It's good. It's good fun. I laugh every time I see it. You wore like an old man mask at one point, and I think you scared like a little girl. Like there's like some little girl that got caught in between the two of you, and she's looking up like, what's going on?
It really is. Yeah, that one was funny.
Yeah. So just the natural stuff. I love it. So before we dive in, and I want to hear your background and your story. So maybe we'll start with you first, Troy, just kind of who you are a little bit, where you're from, where you grew up, and then we'll jump to Melinda, and then we'll kind of go from there. And then of course I want to know how you two met. So take it away, Troy.
Yeah, I grew up in Gilbert, Arizona, and pretty chill family. Got brothers, one brother and a sister, and it's hot here. I'm about Gilbert, Arizona. So
We're both middle children.
Okay. So the middle children like attract then, apparently, I guess.
I think it does help us get along better for sure.
Yeah.
Because the older brothers who beat us up, and then we both have younger siblings who we kind of took care of because we were getting beaten up by our older brothers. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're all best friends.
There you go. So you're 3 kids in your family.
Yep.
Older brother, younger sister. Say that again. What you have? I'm sorry, I missed.
There's 2 years older than me, and then
Okay.
a younger sister.
And a younger sister. All right. Very good. Gilbert, Arizona. You're from the desert. Excellent. Melinda, where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in close to Seattle, a city called Everett, Washington. Beautiful place. I miss it so bad. Older brother, younger brother. I lived there all growing up, and then he made me move down here to the desert.
So you have an older brother, younger brother. So you're the only girl in the family. Probably a little bit of a different dynamic too, being the only girl versus.
Yeah, I'm spoiled rotten. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what's for a bathroom, and
We did share a bathroom. Yeah, it was awful.
You had to share with those gross brothers the bathroom.
Yeah, my own room, but not my own bathroom.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Very good. All right, and okay, one being from the desert, one being from the Pacific Northwest. How did you two meet?
Yeah, we met at school. We met at college. He had just got back from Argentina. He was living in Argentina as a missionary for 2 years, and I was planning on going to be a missionary in Bolivia. So we met, and we weren't really planning on dating. We didn't want to date because I was leaving.
well, here's what happened. Okay, here's the story.
Yeah, all right, let's get to the truth here.
So I was walking around school, and this girl just kept following me everywhere I went.
That's not at all right.
I just-
I wasn't interested. He had huge glasses. I didn't think he was that cute.
I was kind of chubby.
He had a little face chub from Argentina, but
Mhm.
I don't know. We eventually fell in love. And the hard part was I was leaving, and so I that was a struggle. And then at the airport, we said goodbye, and I thought I might never see him again. And what was funny is before that happened, before I left to Bolivia, our families kind of got together as we were leaving school, and my dad met his dad, and as they were saying goodbye, Troy's dad says, "Oh, well, we'll see you later." And my dad goes, "I don't think I'll ever see you again." And he wasn't trying to be rude. He just was like, "I'm never going to see this guy again."
Because she was leaving.
I was leaving. I
On
was
a
going on a mission. So then, and we really did love each other. And so leaving was super hard. And I was gone for a year.
So after school, she came to visit me in Arizona for 3 days. While
Before-
she was visiting me,
This was before you left on your mission. Okay.
I told her a couple weeks ago, I love you, right?
Yeah.
Or a couple weeks before that.
Probably.
And she's like, I don't think I can say that back to you. At the time, I'm like, okay, I think I'm just going to keep saying I love you. So a couple weeks had gone by. She then finally said she loved me to me. And then she came to visit. And during that time, it was like, wow, this Melinda's, we got along so well, and she got along with my family so well. And when she was at the airport, this is when she was leaving Arizona, is when it totally hit her like, I don't know if I'm ever see this guy again. And that's after we both had said I love you, and we kind of got really close during that visit, right?
Yeah. And then it was hard, but I came home. We got engaged really quick. We almost broke up. It was pretty rocky. He's a very jealous guy. And it went all over, but eventually we got married, and our marriage has been amazing. We're best friends.
How many years have you been married now?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
All right. I got to go. I understand this dynamic a little bit just because I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so I kind of understand that whole dynamic with the missions. But this is incredible because you were set to go. And Troy, that's got to be tough. I didn't have that situation. I didn't have, no one waited for me. I didn't wait for anybody. I met somebody when I came back. But was that like hard to knowing she's going to be gone for a year and a half? I mean, that's not like a short time. That's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think I'd be that guy that's like, okay, I'm gonna have a girl missionary out, and like,
He didn't wait
Right
for
here.
me. He did not wait for
So
me.
3
He
months
dated a
in,
lot of people.
I dated a ton of people. I mean, yeah, it would have been a disservice to myself to not date,
I
and
told
to
him,
her.
I want you to date. I can't promise you anything.
But it was definitely difficult. The first couple
It was
nights,
so sad.
remember like just being super, super depressed and sad that she was gone. And then after a couple months, my dad says the best way to get over somebody is to find a new one. Maybe you could edit that out.
That's staying in. That's got to stay in.
So then dated a bunch of people and we just kind of wrote on and off. But I kept thinking about Melinda. Melinda was always in my mind. Like every person I met, I was like, I miss Melinda. And then when she came home, I had texted her dad a week before she came home and said, hey, when Melinda comes back, have her call me. So I was like, okay, we're good. Like her dad's going to communicate this message. And then Melinda's side of the story, when her dad told her,
Well, my parents all thought I was over him because I was like, oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
dating other people. So my dad kind of joked like, Troy texted me, it's so weird, and and he didn't know that I was still like really into him, and so I was like, oh my gosh, Troy texted me, and I got home super late. I think I called him at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.,
Mhm.
and he actually answered, and so we talked for like hours in the middle of the night. And the first night that I got home.
Wow. Okay. You're fresh home from Bolivia, talking for hours to Troy. Wow. Okay. I I love it. I like how you started the story though, Melinda. You talked about how he had these goofy glasses. He wasn't that cute. He had a little Argentinian face chub. I mean, what were you eating? A lot of milanesas? Like, I mean, I went to Uruguay, so I kind of know the Argentinian thing, but
20, 30 pounds out there.
that's where I gained a lot of my weight too, to be honest, with South America. So, and now I'm just whatever. That's a whole
You're
nother
looking
thing.
great.
Thanks.
looking
I
great.
look great right here. Do I look tall too? Because I'm only 5'6", but people say I look tall on camera. So
All muscly.
yeah, right. I'll roll with it. But what was it, Melinda, that got you to like say okay to him? Was it just his persistence? Because like you said, you weren't initially attracted to him.
Yeah, oh, he was very persistent. My favorite thing about him was how he loved other people. Like he is so good with people. He loves everybody. He sincerely cares about people. He was like the popular guy in college, but he wasn't like the popular guy. He like actually cared about people. And he spent time with people and he made everyone feel comfortable. And I don't
That's
know.
nice
I
to
love his
hear.
heart. He has the best heart, and that won me over for sure.
Love that. Wow, that's pretty getting all like emotional here. Like this is intense.
Yeah.
No, I love it. And that's what I think I love about the videos too. It's a lot of like goofing, pranking with each other, but I don't sense any kind of like there's no hostility. It's all like just fun and it's loving. To me, it's loving because it's just how fun it is and how I can tell how much you guys care about each other. It comes across camera. I think that's awesome. What have you done since then? Because you get married, you got engaged soon after you get home, you get married, you've been married for 8 years now. What did you study? What are you both doing for career wise? What's going on there?
Well, I got a stupid degree. I studied public health because I was really into the humanitarian type aid stuff. But you can't really do that if you want to be a mom and live in the US and not get a master's degree. So I didn't really do anything with my degree.
You applied to a bunch of
I applied to
jobs and
so
all
many
of them
jobs.
required a master's degree after you graduated.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we started a couple businesses, or we've tried to start a couple businesses. He's the provider. He's the good money maker.
I always tell Melinda if she was a single woman and we never got married, she would definitely make more money than me. But she's just better at whatever she does. And if I was the dad at home, she would also do that better than me. She's just amazing. So anyway, so then I studied business management. And I remember when I first started, I was praying in my car and I was thinking, okay, what does like God want me to do with my life? And while I was praying, I saw like this little kid who didn't have enough money, like didn't have enough food. And to me, like I wanted to make a difference with my career. So my passion and my dream, and I probably haven't acted well enough on this, has been how can Melinda and I, as we do different projects, make a difference for good? And from certain experiences we've had after we graduated, losing our first son, and then our second son having cancer, we've tried to do different projects where we give back from some of the money that we make to things that we're passionate about. I've always wanted to start a social good business that is a cool project, but then also something that I can do with my wife that then gives back to the community that we're a part of. So every single project that we've done and business that we've done on the side has been a failure, but that has been the goal until now when we started our last project, is to give back and help others while we provide for ourselves as well. That was always been kind of my dream since I started school.
Wow. You started off by saying something. You started off by saying you were praying in your car. And I
Uh-huh.
know faith for both of you is something that's important. Faith in God, prayer, that sort of thing. What is it about faith that is so important to both of you?
I feel like it's been an anchor in every aspect of my life. Like Troy mentioned, we lost our first son, and that was incredibly hard. And I have always believed in God. I've had a lot of experiences with him, but that really shook me. And I never doubted in God's existence, but I was so mad at him. And I think he's the best person to be mad at because he can take it. And I had to work through that, but I feel like the faith that I had in him helped me get through it, helped us get through it, helped us get closer together. And I feel like my faith has driven me my whole life, has given me purpose. It really defines who I am and the choices I've made. Now I make a lot of mistakes, but I feel like, yeah, faith has just been an anchor for me.
And just because we've had a faith in Jesus Christ doesn't mean things are just easy, right? Like I remember probably Melinda still has pain, like from the trials she's gone through, especially with losing our first son named Tanner. But through time and through using the atonement of Jesus Christ, we felt healed to a point. But I remember for a year we didn't even want to talk about it, right, or bring it up. The story. He had passed away in January, and then 5 months later in May, I wrote down the story of what happened because I couldn't write it down because it was so painful. And I wrote it once, rough draft, and I sent it to my sister and said, "Hey, you have to edit this because I'm going to save it for the future. I don't want to reread this for a while. Can you just edit this for me and then send it back?" Because it was just so painful, the experiences we had gone through. So just because we have our faith in Jesus Christ doesn't mean things are easy, but it means there's a path to overcome the hardest parts of our life.
I think what's amazing for me is when I sit and I see these funny videos of you two and, with your family and goofing around. And, in my mind, I'm like, this couple seems like they've got it all together. They're the perfect couple, that everything's going great. And you don't realize what's going on. Your first son, I mean, you're probably fairly newly married at the time. I mean, and to have that kind of trial with your son, Tanner, can you kind of just tell me a little bit about Tanner and kind of what the situation was?
Yeah. So we were really excited. We wanted to be parents. We've been trying for a long time to get pregnant and so excited. Everything seemed fine. We were on vacation.
24 weeks, 23 weeks pregnant.
I was 23 weeks pregnant. We were on vacation in Seattle visiting my parents, and we just walked in a grocery store, and I just like 0 to 60 went into labor like immediately out of nowhere. Then we had to go to the hospital and try to hold the baby in
For 3
for
days,
3 days. I was like in excruciating pain. I was on and off an epidural. I had to deliver without the epidural. So he was born. He had about, what is it, 25% chance
That's 50.
to live and be a normal kid,
Oh yeah, you're right.
and like 25% chance to live and be mentally handicapped. And then, anyways, so we were like 25% chance is pretty good. We had some hope. I was like, I had to be ambulanced to another hospital. I was having, like, my body was shutting down. I was dying. And Troy was with the baby, and it was just awful.
Then
Really traumatic situation
he was alive for 3 more days in the hospital.
in the NICU.
And 24 weeks is the first week of gestation where it's survivable. At that point, that's what the doctors had communicated to us.
Yeah. I delivered him when I was 24 weeks pregnant. Yeah, he was perfect. There was nothing wrong with him. He even cried when he was born. He was the cutest
Wow.
little. Yeah, he didn't really have any complications. It was just he was too small. Anyways, it wasn't working. So he passed away. And luckily, I feel like looking at the whole situation, I can look at it and think God wasn't there. He left us. Like, it was awful. It was so traumatic. There were so many things that went wrong. Or I could look at the situation and see, he was actually there the whole time, and like all the little details. And I was discharged from the hospital early finally because they let me get out so that I could go see my baby. And I got to see him once, and then I got to actually sleep and eat a meal. And then they called us and said, he's going to pass away. You need to come immediately. So it was like
That was at 4 in the morning.
and I was at 4 in the morning, so we rushed over there, and I got to hold him while he died. Like, I gotta be there. And that to me was like that meant the world. And someone had donated. We had nothing. I mean, we were on vacation. We didn't have anything for him. We didn't expect him to be born. We hadn't bought any clothes. We didn't have a blanket. We had nothing. And someone had donated this cute, tiny little blanket and a little hat and a diaper cover. And so after he passed away, I got to give him a bath and I got to wrap him up and we got to hold him. That was so special to me. That was the best gift I've ever gotten. And so one thing that we are working on is I make those now for the little 1 pound NICU babies because they're too small for preemie clothes. So I sew blankets and diaper covers and hats, and we just donated a big box of them to the Phoenix Children's Hospital where our second son was when we stayed when he had cancer. We donated to that hospital. So I feel like that was some little bit of healing of the trauma that was that experience.
Wow.
Another tender mercy too you didn't mention is her dad is in the funeral home industry. So he was able to help us navigate, okay, where do you bury, how do you get a tombstone? Headstone, sorry.
Well, because someone had my son had just passed away, and the NICU doctor came and asked, "What funeral home do you want to use?" I'm
Which is a
like,
hard question to
I'm
get, right?
devastated. If my dad wasn't there, like, what do you say to that? It's like, okay, now I'm gonna have to start Googling. I don't know where I want. Like that to me would have been the hardest question, but I felt like God lifted that off my shoulders because I have the perfect dad who manages a funeral home, and I could just say, "Please go talk to my dad. He's gonna take care of it." And he took care of our little son, and that was the most special thing.
He did everything, embalmed him.
Well,
took
he
it-
had someone involved.
But everything was taken care of. That's beautiful. And now, I mean, especially now looking back, it's got to be easier. As time goes on, it's got to get easier. But I love how you shared how that was such a special moment, being able to bathe him and get him dressed. You had him for 3 days. And meanwhile, you just had a baby. I mean, there's that traumatic part of the whole thing. And just having only 3 days, though, how much love did you have for your son with only 3 days?
Yeah, so much.
Indescribable.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would do anything for that little boy.
Yeah. Same how we have for our 2 sons now. Like it's just amazing how much for me as a father can love my kids.
This brought back a lot of memories for me, and I had no idea what the situation was, but it brought back a lot of memories for me. Our oldest son was born premature. He was born at 29 weeks, doing great now.
Okay.
He's got his own child now. I got a granddaughter from him, all that kind of thing. So, but it was one of those things. My wife, 27 weeks, just boom, going into labor, and we're like, what is going on here? And we had nothing. I don't even know if we had a car seat yet. I mean, I had nothing. I didn't know what was going on, and they ended up having to fly her to St. Joseph's Hospital in downtown Phoenix, and it was just.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was intense, and we weren't ready yet. I was like, hey, this isn't supposed to happen for another 12 weeks. It's another 3 months.
Well,
Just
you were
amazing.
probably on a roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Where
Oh yeah.
in the NICU, it's a roller coaster of emotions. It's good, and then it seems like the next day it's negative. And from
Yeah.
other people, is that correct? How it was?
Oh yeah.
at
Well,
29?
the good part was she was, you were kept him in just for a little bit. 2 weeks, my wife went. So 27 to 29, which is enough to get the steroids to help build the lungs up. So he did really
Gotcha.
well. He was in the NICU for 3 weeks, and they transferred him to another hospital where it wasn't just kind of a regular nursery, and brought him home after a month. He was born at 3 pounds, a little over 3 pounds when he was born. Wow, just hearing your story, just kind of like, wow, just a flood of memories. I mean, that was over 25 years ago. Just amazing.
Similar.
You mentioned you have 2 sons now, and you mentioned one of them had cancer. I mean, you guys, it's like these trials just seem to keep finding their way into our lives. Can you tell me about your 2 sons now, if you don't mind?
Well, yeah, that cancer journey was hard because that was almost exactly 2 years after our son had passed away that we were admitted into the Phoenix Children's Hospital. He had a 28 millimeter tumor. I always forget the number. I think it was 20.
I don't know. I don't know.
It was a big tumor. He was the chubbiest baby. I never thought us skinny little people would have a chubby baby. He was so chubby, chubbiest baby I've ever seen. And he would always keep his neck down. Anyways, yeah, he had this huge tumor in his neck. I had the hardest time washing his neck because he would keep it down. And anyways, we noticed that his eyelid was droopy on one side, and then it would just go back to normal. And then when it would droop, his pupils were different sizes. just for a couple seconds. And I actually got hit in the eye with a hockey stick when I was little, so my pupils are different sizes, and I've gone to the eye doctor, I've heard all the things. I'm like, "It's not good that he has pupils different sizes." So, we got him into the hospital, and it was super traumatic for me because for me, I thought that, this is where kids go to die because that's what I had experienced just 2 years with another baby boy. So, I was not okay. I was in a really bad state, and Troy used to get horrible migraines, so he would have to go home and sleep, so I was alone with the baby, not sleeping because you can't sleep in a hospital very well. I was just a mess. So that was really hard, but they ended up taking the whole tumor out and he never had to get chemo or radiation. He's super healthy now. We get checkups, ultrasound checkups, and everything looks great. The doctors don't think it'll grow back. So that one was really only hard for a week. And then it was really great news. And that helped me realize, okay, hospitals are actually good places.
How old was he when this happened?
He was only 5 months old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then we had another baby boy, and he's totally healthy, crazy little what you would expect a little boy to
He just
be.
likes to jump off of things and hit his head on the ground
He hits his
quite a
head a
bit.
lot.
We had to buy him a little hat,
Cushion.
cushion hat when he was younger to protect his little head.
He's the daredevil of the group, huh?
He is not cautious, whereas our second son is very cautious.
Well, there's other similarities. My first 3 kids were all boys too, so I'm in the same boat with you guys there.
How many kids in total do you have?
4 total. So the baby's a girl. So I did finally get the girl.
There we go.
Took a minute. So there's still hope. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
There's
what we're hoping for. We're actually pregnant.
Oh, congratulations. That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate you sharing this background because it just kind of, when you see stuff out there on social media and whatever, you don't really know kind of what the story is. And so I appreciate you sharing that. I do kind of want to dive into some of these. How the heck do you come up with these ideas? I don't know. Is it mostly Melinda coming up with these ideas? I mean, what's kind of how do you come up with
when I
these
come up with
pranks and
ideas, they just don't hit.
they just don't. Well, you did dress up like Lord Farquaad the other, not too long ago, I think. So you did do that, which was good. So
Yeah, I believe he did that too because I had already planned this whole Farquaad prank on him, and then he does a Farquaad prank on me like the same week.
and
So
I really don't like Lord Farquaad, and in fact, she really did paint 10 years ago a painting of Lord Farquaad and gave it to me for my birthday,
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
for those of the people who are listening and are like, who the heck is Lord Farquaad? Shrek from Shrek, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lord Farquaad's hilarious.
I love Lord Farquaad, and I love you. I messed up,
I wasn't very romantic. He wanted me to paint him a cute romantic.
and he's been staring at me in our closet for years.
I love it. And I saw you had a huge blanket, I think, or something that was on
Yeah.
your bed of Lord Farquaad. The toilet you lift. I mean, there's so many. You do so funny. So, Melinda, how do you come up with this stuff? Where's the creativity come from?
I don't. I've always been creative. I love to be creative. It kind of our account started because I created this little box. I wanted to do an Elf on the Shelf with my kids, but I wanted a Christian version. I wanted to teach them about Jesus. So I created like this
And Melinda's always created fun
I just loved it.
activities.
Yeah, I just love to do it. And so I made this thing for my kids and it was amazing. It made our Christmas so much about Christ because it was every day they got to learn something about Jesus.
Well, last year you made your own little book,
Yeah.
and you bought the Hallmark version of this cute Jesus doll.
Yeah.
And we did it for 24 days last year.
It was so fun. It was just like this Advent. My kids began loving to pray, began loving talking about Jesus. It changed our whole Christmas. It was amazing. And Troy is my biggest supporter and he thought this was such a good project. And he has a genius brain. He knows how to create. So he figured out
Genius, huh?
You're very smart.
Okay.
He figured out how to create, how to manufacture it all so that we could sell it, so that we could give it to other people. So that's how this Instagram started. Is we thought we want a place where we can kind of get family friendly people here, so that we can talk about our searching for Jesus box and get it out into the world. So we initially started. We just want to do fun, family friendly stuff, and then it kind of turned into I just want to do fun stuff that I've always wanted to do, but never actually done. Like the weird Dementor thing. That was like, we almost didn't post that. We made this video of me flying a Dementor with a drone. And we almost didn't post it because we're like, that's not really family content. But I was like, but it's so fun. So I posted anyways. It got
At the time, we
70.
only had like 100 people
We had like 100 followers. It got 71 million views.
as of
Wow.
right now.
And anyway, so I feel like a lot of these ideas, some of them were from my Pinterest board from 10 years ago that I was like, oh, that's funny. And I just never did it. So some of them are that, some of them like the cone head, that was just pure. It's midnight. I need to come up with some way to picture it. Yeah, some of them were just fun things that I saw. A lot of them were just random. I don't know. They're all different
Is there one in particular that you were just like, can't wait to do this one, and it just, I don't know. Was there anyone like that? And then maybe one on your end too, Troy, that maybe you were the receiving end. I don't know. What do you think?
For me, all the airport pickups were like so much. I was so excited. Or pranking Troy. I get so like excited and adrenaline and like I can't wait. And I've done a lot of pranks that don't work. And then I'm like, I'm so mad at you. You were supposed to think that that was funny. Whatever. The airport pickups were definitely like the most, for me, I was like the most anxious and excited about those ones.
When I did the Lord Farquaad costume, I like was waiting for 30 minutes for her to come home. And I think I was more nervous waiting for her to come home by myself than she is in the airport waiting for me to walk in. So that might tell you how nervous I get doing public things that might look embarrassing.
Well, I think what I like too about the airport pickups, because that's the first one I saw, was the airport pickup where you're, welcome home from prison. Troy was the first video I ever saw of you guys. But I think it's the reaction of people. I think you were with your bosses. I think when you were wearing the hazmat suit, possibly. And I just love that fact too. That's like, hey,
My boss has said, hey, I don't want to be in any future videos.
she's got to sign that. Yeah.
She is involved and she's going to be part of the next one.
Okay, nice.
She'll be waiting at an airport with Melinda.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. So that leads me to my question too. Then, what ideas do we have? What other creative ideas? I know, like you talked about the Christmas Jesus, which I think is awesome that you kind of did that. I think, is it called Searching for Jesus? Is that what okay? I think I've looked at that Instagram account too, that you do that. But is there some other big projects that you're looking to do together?
You got to tell them about the police one too, though.
The police.
The pickup
with my kids was amazing. Our oldest son loves to prank. He gets that from his mom. So he was like, so I was actually saying, I'm kind of nervous. Like, I don't know that I can do this. And he goes, oh, I'll do it, Mom. And he just asked everybody.
Our 4-year-old son.
Yeah, you seen this guy? And he would do it like a voice. You seen this guy? Like half an hour. So that was funny. But I don't know.
I'm surprised how confident he is as a 4-year-old.
He's pretty.
That's good. And you were wearing a mustache in that video, Melinda.
But we have some fun Halloween ideas coming up, like silly Halloween things. We have some fun ideas coming up. Yeah. I don't know if it's
this is going to come out after Halloween. So if there's something that's going to come out before, then we're okay. But yeah, if you don't want to give away any of your surprises, I don't blame you.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be good yet, but I've spent so much time. I'm doing one that's ultimate bird watching, where I have sunglasses and a bowl of
for the past 6 months you've been working on this.
6 months I've been trying to catch a bird. Not really catch one, but get one to land on me. And I've gone to so many locations. Anyways, I finally got a bird. It's a big deal, but the video might be stupid, so I don't know if we'll post it, but I was so excited because I've tried so many things. We'll see. I think I'll post it.
So did you have the camera like right up, like how did you do that?
So I just had a camera
okay.
like on and so I was sitting there in camouflage with my little bird feeder bowl waiting for a bird to land on me. I tried the beach, the seagulls, who I thought would be vicious, weren't as vicious. I tried so many places where birds are used to getting fed, didn't work.
She put out food in our backyard for a month so that they'd get used to landing there.
In a bowl with glasses, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, see.
Love me.
You have the creativity that I can't even think of stuff like that.
inspiration was the woman from Home Alone 2, the pigeon lady.
Amazing. I love it. What's been some of the biggest challenges as you guys have moved forward? I mean, you've obviously had the major challenges with the children, but as you move forward now and now your kids are getting older, what kind of challenges do you two face as a couple and just as you move forward?
Right now, I'm just barely pregnant. I'm like 10 weeks pregnant, and I've been feeling awful, just terrible, unmotivated.
Mm.
That's our biggest challenge right now. He's been amazing. He does all my dishes, and I don't cook dinner for him anymore. And he cleans the house.
I get kind of stressed out about a dirty,
He does not like the house to be dirty, so he angry cleans, but he cleans.
angry clean.
He doesn't really get angry. He's like the sweetest guy. Okay. But he gets a little angry. And I've just been sick. So that's been hard. We haven't posted in like a couple weeks because I've just been so sick.
Yeah,
So being pregnant for me is I feel sick, but then I'm also really anxious because of what's happened in the past.
sure.
Mm.
So that's our hard thing right now. Right? Any other hard things?
I think that's the one.
That's the one.
How do you two keep the flame alive, I guess, between the two of you? You know, you got young kids now. It gets hard, life kind of gets in the way. You get busy with kids, and how do you find the time for just the two of you to have a date night or whatever?
That's a great question.
Well,
We could do better
we do
at
need
date
to-
nights for sure, but we have this foundation where Melinda and I are for sure best friends. We've always gotten along very, very well and very easily when we make sure we have time together.
And that
And-
was what was really cool about this Instagram account is because it kind of forced us to plan fun things to do together. So this was like our rule was if we're not having fun, we don't do it. So this Instagram was like an excuse. Let's just go have fun. Let's plan things. And then we had better dates because we were like, let's go eat corn on paint rollers and laugh about it together.
We actually said today, this morning, I guarantee, Melinda, we need to have a date night every single week. I need
Yeah.
to recommit to you,
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
and then we'll recommit again next month. But we'll at least strive for it. That's what's
Yeah.
important.
It's interesting. For me, there was little waves because when the kids were little, it was like tough. But once my oldest son became old enough to kind of babysit, it was awesome. It's like we were dating again. Like, hey, this is just go out whenever you want, So you might have a little rough patch for a little while, but then it'll get better again. And you just gotta.
Babysitters are not cheap, Jake.
Yeah, it's true. They are not cheap at all. That was hard. You have to kind of figure out ways to do it for sure. All right. So if you were to dream big as you want, go, pie in the sky,
Question.
what would be the kind of the ultimate, I don't know, legacy of your work together, maybe the Instagram, or what would kind of be the ultimate thing for both?
Let me take a stab at this one.
Yeah, sure.
So I think this comes back to what I said
Mhm.
our dream was or I guess my personal dream. 3 things. The personal dream is I want to provide for my family. I want to create businesses with my wife and kids that sustain us. And I want to give back while we're doing that. So if I could do those 3 things from a business perspective and from like a providing perspective, that would be just the best, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Was I clear and I said that? Or-
Yeah, specifically, I think like our searching for Jesus, we would love to make more things. Like I really want to make like an Easter one. We would love to be able to teach other families about Jesus. We would love to grow this business. And we give 2% of our proceeds to
2% of
what word to use? 2% of something money we're doing it now to Phoenix Children's Hospital, but we also have other causes that we would love to donate to. And
Mhm.
so yeah, our dream would be hopefully we could expand that business.
So
I don't know.
while we're talking about that, the searching for Jesus, yeah, if someone's interested in like, oh, I love this idea, would love to do it with my family, yeah, where can they do that? Where can they find information? How can they get a hold of that?
So it's on the Zon.
It's on Amazon. Yeah, but it's also our website is searchingforjesus.shop.
Searchingforjesus.shop. Perfect.
Yep, they can find it there.
And then on
Excellent.
Amazon, you type in searching for Jesus doll, and it will be one of the first listings to shop.
Very cool. Okay, I like that because I think that's great that you're doing that, and then hopefully you can keep expanding that. Other ideas. I mean, you're so creative, Melinda. I don't think that'll be a
Yeah.
problem for you. I mean, it seems like you got that going.
It is interesting because Melinda and I are puzzle pieces that fit really well together. Everything she likes to do, I don't really enjoy. And everything she doesn't enjoy, I find very fun.
Like he's my
When it comes to
analytics
creating
guy.
projects,
He's the spreadsheet guy. But sometimes that's hard because we can't carve pumpkins at Halloween because he is not a pumpkin carving guy.
I did.
He'll do
I'm
the
good at it.
tiniest little face.
She'll be
I'll
over
sit
there
there for hours carving a pumpkin.
for 2 hours carving a pumpkin, and I go, I have this great idea. I'm gonna carve a pumpkin, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is. So we had Halloween, was this 4 or 5 years ago, and then I carved the smallest face into the
Tiny
pumpkin I
smile.
could.
And that was
I said, "This is a tiny face, large pumpkin."
he didn't even empty out the seats.
I thought it was a great idea. I saw something else do it, and I go, "This is inspiring. I'm gonna do it." And she wasn't impressed.
But yeah, normally we work great together because he does the boring analytic stuff and I do the creative stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love your dynamic. I think it's amazing. Just watching both of you on Instagram has been a lot of fun. I mean, it just makes me laugh. And and I think we all need that because I think we need moments where, life gets challenging, life gets tough, and it's nice to be able to just be like, they're having fun. And you give other people ideas. It's like, okay, maybe I could do something. Me and my wife could do something fun. We're maybe not as young as you guys are now, but hey, we can still do fun things. Why not? So I appreciate you guys doing that.
Send me a video, Jake, of you waiting in the airport.
Yeah, that probably won't happen. And it's usually me at the airport. So yeah, maybe she'll have to show up in a costume. I don't see that happening either. But who knows? All right.
We lab that way.
Yeah. All right. So I've got some lightning round fun
Okay.
questions I kind of want to do. So, all right. If you had to pick one word that defines your relationship, what would it be and why?
That's the only word I can think of.
Yeah, I like that one. Do we need to come up with a different word? Is that okay?
Yeah, if you're both good on love, that seems like, and I think that fits. Love. That's a good one. All right. What's a wild place, since you're Hicks in the wild? What's a wild place you've yet to visit, but you would like to visit?
I really just want to go to France for some reason. I'm trying to learn French. I don't know. I want to go back to Washington. He's travel. He wants to take me to China and all over the world, really. I don't know.
I want to do a trip where we go to Australia, China, and then Hawaii, and bring her with me.
I love Hawaii.
There you go. That's pretty wild.
Sorry, super wild.
I know. I
That's
can't.
probably not a very good answer.
It can be wild. That's the thing. You just never know. It depends what you do. It can be wild. I mean, you go to the outback in Australia, that's pretty wild.
I feel when you go somewhere, you want to experience it with somebody else. So I've been to Asia quite a bit, and I never had Melinda there with me. And I want to go to the Great Wall of China with Melinda and show her things that I've seen. Anywhere I go, I want her to be with me because it's like she understands everything about me. But when I go on these not solo trips, as business things, and she's not there, I come home and I go, I want to experience that with you. So anywhere we go, I just want her there to experience with me. And I think she'd say the same thing because we understand each other so well. And when we do things apart, I want to show her that side of me.
I love that. It's great. All right. Who are two people alive or who have passed on that you want to have dinner with and why?
Oh, for sure.
Well, two people. Jesus and who's our second? Tanner, obviously.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I don't think you come up with any other names.
I don't. Those are my only.
And that fits perfectly of what we've kind of talked about today. So I think that's beautiful. Tanner and Jesus, can't go wrong with that, without a doubt. All right. If Hicks in the Wild was a movie genre, what genre would it be, and who would play each of you?
Ooh. Well, I don't know. Everyone says he looks
No,
like.
I mean, I'd be Glenn Powell. I'm buff and.
I don't know. No actors. I don't know who would be me. What would we be? Rom-com? Those are
That's a comedy. I'm Glenn Powell because I'm buff and super good looking.
Definitely I could definitely see a rom-com for sure. You got to be a rom-com, right? I mean,
validating your comment there. Need somebody to validate it.
Glenn Powell. Who would?
Melinda. You would be Anne Hathaway.
Really?
She's in the Princess.
Do you think I'm klutzy?
Is she klutzy? She acts in multiple ways.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Dark hair.
We don't really know act.
I don't either. I do know Anne Hathaway just in dark hair. I mean, I think that's the similarity I see. They both have dark hair.
Rock Johnson is who I would be. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson That's for sure me.
Hey, there's no wrong answers here. So yeah, that's perfect. Beautiful. I love it. So Journey with Jake, it's an adventure podcast, but it's your journey. You shared your journey. You've shared some adventures of these fun activities you've done. But I just kind of want to know between the two of you, maybe we'll start with Troy and then Melinda. What does adventure mean to you?
What does adventure mean? It means to me taking a risk and then knowing that it's a risk and still going forward. And then not knowing where you're going to end up on the other side, but still moving forward. I think that's what an adventure is. And then the experiences that happen to you that you didn't know were going to happen. I think an interesting phrase is you don't know what you don't know when you start out on these paths, but you just have to move forward. You can't know all of, before you pull the trigger, and maybe that's not the best phrase, but before you say, I'm going to go forward, you don't know like all the risks that are on the road, but you just got to say, I'm going to move forward and go and say, I'm going to take this adventure. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I'm going to move forward. Cool.
Yeah, I think what comes to my mind is having fun doing something new.
I like that.
And it's best with a friend.
Best with a friend.
Yeah.
I love it.
Journey, it's better with a friend.
I feel like we're coming up with things right here. This is great. I love it. This was fun for me. Melinda and Troy, thank you both so much for coming on Journey with Jake.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Jake. Thanks for inviting us.
A big thank you to Troy and Melinda Hicks for joining me on the show and sharing so much laughter, love, and faith. I love how their story reminds us that adventure can be found in the everyday moments when we choose joy, creativity, and connection. Be sure to follow them on Instagram at Hicks in the Wild to keep up with their hilarious and heartwarming content. Also, check out searchingforjesus.shop to find a way to make your Christmas more Christ-centered. Thank you, Troy and Melinda. And thank you to all of you for tuning in each week to Journey with Jake. I'm so grateful for this community and for the lessons I learn from every guest who joins me. If you haven't yet, take a moment to follow the show, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who could use a smile today. Join me next time as I sit down with Craig Dayhut, co-founder of Appian Media, who takes us behind the scenes of filming faith-based adventures across Israel, Egypt, and beyond. It's an incredible story of perseverance, purpose, and passion. Just remember, it's not always about the destination, as it is about the journey. Take care, everybody.